All right, I want to show you the client studio model that I'm currently running that pays me about $35,000 a month, north of at the moment, to create for just 1 hour a day. And I want to show you this because I think if you are a creative individual who's running a coaching business, a consulting expert business where you're offering courses or programs and the like, I think you get a lot out of it because you, like me, may have just realized that you don't want to scale your business to $10 million and have a giant team and no life, right? I created this model after I had the realization that I'm far more of an artist and a creative than I am like a CEO and an entrepreneur. And I realized what I wanted was a lean, effective, profitable model where I got paid handsomely to create stuff that I love to make, that people love to buy, and they want my help implementing it after they got a sense of what it is that I do. And I wanted to create this because I had been inside a number of scale your coaching business programs, and I looked at the after picture with tons of team and coaches and like appointment setters, and I was just like, I don't want any of that. So about a year ago, I created this document. I sent a copy of this to you in the first email that you just got after opting in for this training. What I wanted was to engineer a business that brings in 500 to 750K of profit per year. That means revenue post expenses. Runs as a 2-person business, just me and my wife. You can run it with an assistant. So the specifics of what we're talking about is 2 fixed days of delivery / production per week, 2 floating days of design creativity where I have nothing on the calendar and I can just do whatever I want. We're actually up to 3 days on this right now. No more than 6 hours a week on Zoom calls, no sales calls, no launches. I don't want to have to resort to unethical marketing strategies like fake scarcity. And I don't want to have to shake my Tic Tacs on TikTok right now. I wanted this because selfishly, there's a number of reasons in here, both personal for me and for them, the people that are important for me. Like I want to train jujitsu and write books and make music. And I want to have time to spend with my wife and visit my family in Ireland because I live in Montreal now. I'm originally from Ireland and all that stuff, right? There's things that I want out of my life and I want the business to fuel that. And I want my life to fuel my business. I don't want it to be constrained. I just want to show you for context what I was aiming for, and we've accomplished most of this. We are well en route to the revenue number, the profit number as well. We're about 60-70% of the way through to that. I expect we'll hit it pretty soon. But I want to break down how it works because you might want to replicate this for yourself. To give you some deets on that, if you just look through the guide here, this is what you downloaded. In here, I walk you through the specifics, right? Again, you can read through the deets here. This is kind of an accompaniment to this walkthrough. I've kind of given you more detail here. There's a link in here as well to the business intention. But what I wanted to kind of highlight here is a couple of things. One, the revenue model. You can see this here. I kind of break it down, the level of people we have in our group. We have more than this right now. The numbers aren't updated. I want this to be consistent with the original training I did on this. But you can see the revenue model and how it's working, how we're currently at 35 to 45K a month and the profit margins. And you can see the requirements. Again, I've just kind of shared you these here. But the part that I really want to show you as well is the creativity model, right? How we've managed to get things down to just an hour of creativity per day. So 1 hour a day is 20 to 30 hours a month, depending on whether you're counting an hour just on work, business days, or an hour every day. And so to do that, the way this model works is that all I need to create to fuel the client studio model, which fuels both my client delivery and my conversions, right? I have to create just the following assets. Okay, if I zoom in here a little bit, an email every day, which you can see there's the deliverable, how long it takes me to create it, and then the frequency at which I'm creating that thing, and then the total hours per month that I spend creating that stuff, right? So an email with an offer takes me about 20 to 30 minutes. I do 5 to 7 of those a week. Client training, which I create for people in my studio. That's about 120 to 180 minutes to create, 2 to 3 hours. I do 1 to 2 of those a month. So that's 3 to 6 hours. And then the client training delivery. So this is me showing up and actually delivering the product. So there's creating the training and then it's delivering the training, and the delivery takes me like 2 hours, and I'll do 1 or 2 a month. So that's 2 to 4 hours a week. And then there's the product page copy. So if I need to create the product to sell the product, it takes me like 30-40 minutes to do that. Again, I'll do 1 or 2 of those a month. That takes me about an hour and a half. And then I might have to make an odd video here or there. That takes me about an hour. I don't always make them, but sometimes I do. And if you tally all these up, that's how we get to 14 to 23 hours of creativity per month, right? Depending on how much I want to work and how hard I want to work. Sometimes it's less than that, right? But this is the model of how we get to the revenue numbers with this amount of time. And so to show you how I run all of both the content delivery for my clients, as well as the conversion effort I have to put in, let's just kind of look at how the Client Studio fits into the broader machine. So this is what we call the conversion engine. It's kind of a 3-phase kind of process where you go from traffic and leads on the left, where you've got a flow of people coming in. Then there's conversation, which is how you convert people. And then there's the product part, which is what are they going to buy? I like to think of the Client Studio as having 2 levels. You've got the big level, and then you've got the small level, and there's no specific price range for these. It's about the ratio between the 2 of them. So if like your big Client Studio is $24,000, then your small thing might be $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. Or if your big thing is $6,000, then your small thing might be $1,000, $2,000, or $3,000, right? So it's less about a price point. It's more about different levels of access. And so what you need is you need a way to get leads, you need a way to convert those leads, and then you need a location and a product that you want them to buy and a location to deliver it. And then you need a way to be able to continue to have those clients engage with you, right? Now, the challenge that a lot of people have is that when they're trying to like do their marketing, right? They like create stuff to generate leads, and then they have to create more stuff to convert people, and then they have to create stuff for their clients as well. And it's just a lot of creativity, right? It's just a lot of stuff to be created. And it can feel like it's just a ton of work without a lot of return. And even worse than that, like I see some people, and what they do is like they'll create things for their clients, but when it comes to their marketing content, they're like working from like an ideal client profile, and they're like writing to this abstract individual instead of what I do, which is just taking the stuff that I create for the individual clients I have in my studio and using that as my marketing. Right. I want to show you why this is way more effective and the really simple model that I use, because it's deceptively simple, but the more you run this cycle I'm about to show you, just the better your results will get. So what I call this is the studio flywheel. And what it is that the heart of the studio here is you, right? I'm running this process in my client studio with my clients, right? And the simple insight here is that if you create solutions for people that you love, that are ideal, and you want to attract more people like that, just use the stuff that you're creating for those people to attract more customers and have those customers turn into clients by inviting them to join your studio. It's deceptively simple, but kind of let me explain how it works. So if you look at the top here, we'll start up here at step number, the one at 12 o'clock on the clock face here, which is get clients, right? So let's assume you get a brand new client, or you can just take an existing client that you've already got. All right. Step number 1 is identifying what is the problem that individual has as the next thing they need to do in order to like progress to whatever their goals are. In my case, like what do you need to do to grow your business, right? If I was running this model with my clients internally in my studio, right? Once I've identified that problem, I need to create a solution to solve that problem. Okay. Let's say I do not have the solution for it. I need to go and create it. I create the solution. It works. Fantastic. Right. Now what I'm able to do is I'm able to take the solution I created, right? Let's say the solution is like, how do I convert people without a sales call? I have a solution which is called offer engineering, which is like, hey, here's how to create an offer doc to convert high premium clients into your programs without using sales calls, right? I create that solution. Then what I can do is next step down here, I can offer that solution to my audience. That audience can be my email list, it can be my Facebook audience, it can be a cold advertising audience that I use paid ads to reach. But what I can do is offer that solution to people, free and or paid, right? Depends on what you're trying to accomplish, but I can take the solution and offer it to people to get their attention and to move them forward in the conversation process with me. From there, I can create new customers. I can make a low-level paid offer to work with me. The client studio model itself was born out of one of my clients asking, hey Ross, how do you run your delivery in such a time-efficient manner where you're actually able to get your marketing to do double duty with your product creation? And I was like, well, here's how it works. And I created the solution. And from that, the client studio idea was born. And then I offered it to my marketplace. I found other people that wanted to buy that solution from me. We'll draw the distinction between a customer, which is someone who like buys a product. Maybe it's for $100, it's $500, but it's like not a client. We'll draw the distinction between a customer and a client, where a client is someone who's paying for like implementation support and our coaching, right? Our services, right? So we're drawing a distinction between a customer who buys a product and a client who ends up joining you in one of your premium programs, or in this case, your client studio. So once you've created a customer, right, by offering them to buy a thing, to check out your material, then what you can do is you can invite those customers to join you in your client studio, right? Hey, that thing you bought, would you like some support building it out and making it work for you and implementing it and getting some results? If you do, you should come and work with me in my client studio, right? Once you do, at that point, you now have gotten a new client and you can repeat the process, right? Or you can solve that exact problem that that client just purchased and wanted to work with you on, and then you identify their next problem, right? Create a solution for that, and you can repeat this entire process. And you can run this with like no clients at all, meaning like, hey, you want to get a client? Well, ID a problem and create a solution, and then offer that to a market, find some customers, and then invite those customers to become clients, and then get the first person to come into the studio, right? Or alternatively, if you have one client right now that you'd like to build a studio around, how do you look at the problems you've solved for them, turn some of those into solutions, use those solutions to attract more people into your audience, or attract more buyers from your email list to become customers, and then invite those folks to become a client. And so this is how I am able to run that creativity model I was talking to you about here, right? This is how I am able to get both the conversions and the delivery of my model done in just with 1 hour of creativity a day. And the reason for that is because I'm creating the client training, right? I am then delivering that client training, and then I'm just creating a product to sell the client training, right? And I'm writing emails to offer that stuff to my audience. And then as people take me up on the things I'm creating for my clients, they buy it. And then I invite those folks to become clients. They come in. If I haven't got solutions to the problems, I create them. And then I repeat the process where I can sell those solutions to more people in my audience. And the whole thing just turns. So this is why the client studio is so efficient and why it gives you so much leverage, because I don't have to create marketing content, and I don't separate to the content I need to create for my clients, which is separate to the products that I'm creating in my program. It's all one and the same thing. So how do we make this happen? Well, I want to show you an idea, a discovery I've made over the last couple of years of doing this, which I see is the pattern behind the folks that really make these online businesses work for themselves. And it was really the breakthrough that allowed me to unlock what I believe is the best form of what my business needs to be. As a creative individual, I would articulate to you that part of the reason maybe you're not feeling so engaged with the work or getting the results that you're looking for from the things that you create for your business is because you have let go of the art side of your creativity. What do I mean by that? Well, how I like to think about things is that we as creative individuals, particularly in the world of conversions and marketing, have to exist between these two worlds of art and business, right? Whereas the world of business is all about getting results, the world of art is about creating resonance and connection. And most of the time, you see people when they're creating products and materials or even marketing, it's very much focused on the business side of things and not so much on the art side of things. Now, when I say art, I don't mean pretty pictures and better design and branding, although that can be a part of it. Instead, I'm talking about what real art is, which is how you create a genuine, emotional, authentic connection based on a real human experience, and then how you communicating that through the words and the images that you so use, right? Again, I'm not talking about you need to improve your branding here. I'm talking about showing up and creating things that you're genuinely excited about, that you are motivated to create a solution for. And for the most part, a lot of the people I work with, when I look at their stuff and it's not working, it's because I can clearly see their art. They've not integrated that into it. And the client studio model is very much about how we make sure we merge these two things. For example, whereas art is about like having an identity, right? And then making sure that your communications around that internal identity of you, your company, your brand, that is very much what the world of art is about. Whereas the world of business is very much about what's the internal structures you need to have as a business in terms of how you run your programs or your team structures or your campaign structures, all of these internal things that you use that you know are going to be effective. The external component is how you make offers as a business to your people, right? And for a lot of times, people, they don't have the right structure and they don't know how to make the right offers. When they make offers, what's missing is the emotional art side of things. There's no sense of identity in what they're creating, and how they communicate about it is pretty poor. And the client studio is very much the solution for these two things, right? Because where we want to exist, in my experience, is in the middle here. We call this creative motherfuckery. Motherfucker being used in the context of being, or the definition of being formidable and remarkable, not in the crude sense of it, right? But if you want to be identified and recognized for that creative mofo that you are, we want to exist and create stuff that is in the middle of this world of art and business. And the client studio is the solution that allows you to do exactly that. Now, we're not going to spend any more time on the art business diagram there, just because there's a whole breakdown there. If you are interested in that, you're going to want to check out the offer I have for you. But at a high level, if you are resonating with the client studio idea here, if you're a creative individual who's running a course, coaching, consulting business, and you feel like you just want more leverage, higher profit, model where you can get your stuff done in just an hour of creativity a day. And if you're interested in kind of exploring this a little deeper, have a special handshake offer for you. Now, a handshake offer is a special offer I like to make to my new subscribers, new people that have come into my world. You can think of this as a ticket to go a little further down the rabbit hole. Now, what I'm going to invite you in to check out, it's right below this video. I'm going to screen share here in a sec, is the Client Studio Implementation Kit. Now, you can get this on my website for $500, but since you're new here, I want to give you a steep, fat discount on that of $400, so you can pick it up for just $100. I'm going to walk you through what's involved or what's included, so you can kind of get a sense of what you're getting your hands on, what it looks like, and if you want to go deeper, see how it can work for you and start implementing, I'll have this offer for you, and I want to kind of walk you through it. So if you just scroll below the video here, you'll see all the details. This is the page that you're probably on right now, so it's going to be a little meta, me looking at the same page that you're on right now. What you get in this offer is you are going to get the Client Studio implementation training itself, right? In here, it'll be the deep dive into what I've given with an awful lot more detail, the principles, how to implement it, additional resources, etc. There's a core training here. It's about an hour and a bit. There's a QA session in there where I was answering questions live about it. There's a guidebook, and then you'll get the actual program structure and delivery process that I use myself personally. There's also a Q&A workshop that I did, again, for people who have purchased this product. Additional support, you can get that. We hot seat a couple of people, helping them figure out how their model is going to work. That'll be the first bonus that you get. Second bonus, you're going to get the Client Studio as a paid ad cheat code. So I've kind of talked a little bit about that earlier, but there's a whole methodology I use to identify what are the compelling offers that I can use as a front end that will fund ads, right? In terms of how to grow it. You're in one of these right now, right? Like you've opted in. I've already kind of validated the client studio as a front end because of the way it's performed elsewhere, and I'm now advertising it, and the proof is in the pudding. But here you'll see how I discover those compelling front end offers using the client studio model. So there's a deep dive into that. In addition to that, there's some case studies. We have a library of expanding case studies of people I've helped set up their own client studio models, some interviews here about how those work. And then in addition to that, you're also going to get another bonus, which is the Creative Mofo model implementation workshop. So the world of art and business, right? I've built a whole business model around how to make these worlds work for you. And the client studio is one part of it, right? As we've kind of looked at it here, it's very much the structure and how to make offers on this side of the model in terms of art and business. There is more. I did a whole workshop on how to make that work for you. If you're someone who wants to be a creative mofo and you want your business to run on the creative mofo methodology where you get paid a lot of money to create stuff that you love to create, kind of breaks down the strategies and how they fit together. You're going to get that as well, right? That's going to be here. And then bonus number 4 is going to be the Creative Mofo implementation workshop. So as we're looking at this overlap between art and business and wanting to operate in the middle here in the world of creative MFery, this client studio is very much the primary strategy for how you get the business structure set up, how to make offers, how to get results for both yourself and the other folks. And it is the primary strategy we use there. But there's a whole business model that I run. And the Creative Mofo implementation workshop there was a special I did for some clients of mine and some customers. And I broke down the rest of the model. It's all the other bits and pieces. And I'm going to give you that for free as well. People paid, I think, about $200 to attend that workshop. You're going to get it for free as well. And included in that 16 lessons, about an additional 2 hours of content with an interactive session. And there's another 21-page guidebook there breaking down how the model works, where you can get paid handsomely to create for just an hour a day. And it kind of gives you the rest of the pieces that go with the client studio model. So that's everything that's in this special handshake offer. Normally, if you were to get that on my website, you can go check it out right now. It's there for $500. We've had multiple people purchase regularly at that price. Today, you can have it for just $100, right? So this handshake offer is going to be available for a few days. Consider this just a ticket to go down the rabbit hole. If you're feeling like this stuff could be interesting to explore and you want to start engaging and implementing some of the ideas, this would be a great deal. So there it is. Guarantee just $100. Check it out. Grab it before the deadline. And hopefully these ideas energize you as much as they have energized me. So go below, check it out, click the button, and we'll see you on the other side.